Hello everybody, my name's Solek and I'm back again for another Hero Factory review. We finished off the 2.0 heroes, so it's time to take a look at our first villain. And we're starting things off with set number 2193 with 63 pieces released in winter 2011, Jetbug. So the fire villains, in my opinion, are some really dope villain sets. And we're starting things off with, of course, Jetbug. The villain sets are larger and more complex than the heroes, meaning that they're going to be a little bit more expensive. Originally, Jetbug was $13, and if you want him today, you'll be expecting to pay anywhere from $15 to $30 for him used, and about $40 to $70 new. So I don't have the instructions for any of the fire villains, but for the first time I actually do have the box for Jetbug, so I guess we'll look at that. You can see, obviously, on the front you got him in, well, a pose. You know, you got all the set information. It's a box. I'm not really going to go over that. With more stuff. Then on the back here, you can see him going up against Ferno. Pretty cool. And you can see his action feature, which finally he has an action feature besides just good articulation. And, you know, the rest is just boxed up. You get the actual size of his head. I mean, I don't really feel the need to go over this because, like, it's a box. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. This set's definitely got a pretty interesting color scheme, meaning that we're going to get some pretty neat recolors here. So to start things off, this is really cool. We've got a translucent reddish-orange torso armor piece. That's really neat. This is the only set to have this part. And I mean, yeah, it just looks really cool, and that's going to be going on his torso. And then you've also got two KEETORANGE chest armor pieces. These actually go on his arm, strangely enough, but I think they look pretty good. Again, you get two of these. This is actually the first time we've seen KEETORANGE in Hero Factory, I think, so that's neat. Well, no, it's not, because Forno 1.0 had it, that was a lie. And then you get a trans reddish-orange 5-long, there we go, armor piece. You get a Zamor sphere in this kind of red-orange, like, meld thing. I guess it's supposed to be, like, some sort of, like, magma rock that he shoots. I don't really know. You've got a gunmetal gray Thorn Axe Launcher. You get two of these parts. And then, just like the heroes, the villains do have their own unique armor pieces. Theirs are obviously a lot different. I do quite like these. It's like some sort of like a magma rock piece. Looks pretty good there. You can see Jetbug's insignia, which kind of looks like his head, because you've kind of got like pincers going on there, so that's neat. I'm pretty sure that covers it for recolors, but this set actually has quite a few new pieces too. And here are those previously mentioned new pieces. We'll get the joints out of the way first. You've got an upper limb part that's extended, kind of like how Stormer's lower legs were. I don't think there's really much to go over here. It's just kind of like how Stormer's lower legs were extended, except for an upper limb this time. But to connect to that, you've got a new lower limb piece that's like Stormer's again, except it has an extra pinhole in it, so it's even longer. And these are going to connect together to form his legs. And this comes in KEETORANGE, and this is the only set you can get this piece in KEETORANGE. Then you've got a new length of armor piece. You've got a 6-slong armor piece in KEETORANGE. You get two of these. That's pretty nice. You've got this, which is kind of like the torso armor piece, except a lot more textured. The camera is refusing to focus, so hold up. Let me just you might be able to see that a little bit better. Yeah, this is the best we're gonna get probably. But this has a lot more texture on it. It looks almost like an engine. This is strangely enough used for his wings, but it's a pretty cool piece. We'll see this used with some other stuff as we go along. You've got this part, which is kind of like a blade sort of thing. It's got two lightsaber-sized connections to fit into an armor piece like this. But then it can also be held, in a hand or something, because it's got an axle, and so you could use it like a knife. He uses this as pincers and then also as like blades on his hands, so that's neat. And then you got these two things. The first one here, this is referred to as a villain core. It just goes on his chest. I don't think it's actually supposed to be like his power source, but it's more or less just chest armor. And then you've got these, well, I said that really weird. You got these kind of fire armor piece add-ons. These are pretty dang cool. You get two of these, and, oh, whoops, I dropped it. You get two of these in this set, and they're kind of meant to be like exhaust coming out of his jet wings. But what's cool about these pieces is these can fit very easily into armor, because just like the other pieces, they have these things, the lightsaber size connections on them, so they can just add some texture to armor, and it's pretty dang cool. And then lastly, you've got his head. There's Jetbug's head, not much there, but then turn it around, and there's Nitro Blast's head. So my best guess on why LEGO did the fire villain heads like this is because they had a specific budget for how many new pieces to introduce, and they already introduced a crap ton of new pieces. so they couldn't introduce 4 new heads, so they just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't mind this very much, but I can see how this would definitely throw somebody off. So as far as the features of this set go, we do have a bit more than usual. You've still got 3 points of articulation in the legs, and 3 points in the arms. You've got 2 in the head now, because he has an elongated neck. And you've got 3 in each of his little wing booster things. That's pretty neat, I guess. But then also he has a Thorn Axe Launcher. You probably know how these work. I'm just going to shoot it off anyway. Yeah, you just shoot the little sphere. It's not that complicated. I do quite like Jetbug's color scheme. Consists of gunmetal, KEETORANGE, black, and trans orange, with obviously the red spikes everywhere. I'm not quite sure why he just like absolutely loaded with red spikes. When I got this set, he didn't actually have enough, so I have to share his with. So normally, I just keep a few of them off of him, which you probably notice some idiots. But I had to take a few off Drill Dozer to give to him for this review, but I'm going to put those back on Drill Dozer afterwards. As far as my issues with him go, I don't actually have very many problems with this set. He's pretty well armored. Maybe could stand something on the lower arms, but they look fine as is. And the lack of back armor isn't even really an issue here, because he's got his wings to cover it up, so it's not a big problem. So really, like, I don't want to say he's a perfect set or anything, because he's not, but I don't really have any huge issues with him, and that's pretty good. Although, one big problem I do have, in case you didn't know, CCPS parts, as introduced in 2011, had much better plastic integrity than the Bionicle pieces from 2008 and onwards, which were frequent to break. For some reason, Jetbug does not use this kind of hand connector with the better plastic. For some reason, he uses 5 of the 2008 plastic ones. I do not know why LEGO did this, but it's a very easy fix, and that's a good segue into me showing you some mods, which actually Jetbug has almost none that like really affect him, but there is one extremely important thing you need to do. So all you're going to need to modify him is you're just going to need 5 of the better plastic version of these parts. I only got 2 because I've already put 3 on him, because I didn't feel like putting all the brittle plastic ones on him because I couldn't find them. But then one extremely important thing you're going to need. If you don't make this alteration to the set, then you might as well not even buy him. What you're going to need is you're going to need just a system minifigure cowboy hat piece. I use dark tan, you can really use any color. Put a stud into that, and then put some sticky tack. Maybe I just use black sticky tack, but put that in there. This is an essential change that you need to make to Jetbug. If you don't do this, then like this set is basically, you might as well just not buy this set. And as you can see, we haven't changed much, but we have done one very important thing, well, 2 very important things. Now his hands won't break, or his feet, or his head. And now he has a very stylish cowboy hat on. So that's really all the modifications I would make to Jetbug. But remember, whoops, if you don't put that hat on him, like, he's a trash set without that hat, dude. Like, honestly, he looks garbage without it. So let's get to my final thoughts. All jokes aside, I do think that Jetbug is an extremely solid set. He's got a pretty good color scheme, and while he does have a lot less going on than some of the other fire villains, mainly Firelord, he is still a really cool looking set, and I think he's definitely worth it if you want him today, since he's not that expensive. Overall, I think I am going to give him a 9 out of 10. I've got very few problems with him, he overall looks great, and I just think he would be a nice addition to your collection if you really want him. And that about wraps up my review of Jetbug. I'd say he's a pretty dang solid set. Really not much else to say. I hope you'll join me next time when we take a look at the next of the Rogues Gallery of the 2.0 line, Drill Dozer.